Hello and welcome to another Tyrrell's Classic Workshop. It's time for a bit more ketchup. And I unashamedly use that expression, having had the vote in favour rather than against in our little poll that we did. But anyway, we've got various jobs that have been ongoing, and I'm going to just have a look at those right now. Corey.
Iain.
Hello.
How's you doing? You all right?
I'm chipper, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, likewise.
Good. Well, you should be, because I'm going to ambush Corey now. He's just recently passed his NVQ Level 3 in Motor Vehicle Engineering. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He also passed with the distinction.
I did.
And I think, are you the only person to ever have done that or something?
Oh, well, I spoke to my head of the course, and he's been there 3 or 4 years, and he said he was the only one that he can recall having got a distinction. So I wouldn't say in the entirety of the college's history, but in that period, I believe so.
That is wonderful.
So yeah, it's good.
I'm so privileged to have you here.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're fired, by the way.
All right, okay,
Yeah. Right, so we have a Bentley Continental R Mulliner wide body, which is quite the thing, actually. And it's funny because for years these were comparatively cheap. We've been doing a lot of stuff around Bentley recently, my trip to the Bentley factory, and we've got sort of a series of Bentley-based videos, not by design, just by accident. We happened to have this car in, and this car is in fabulous condition, but the dreaded rear hubs and rear brake discs on these is a big problem. Most cars that you work on these days, the brake disc actually slips over the wheel studs on the outside, and the brake disc is held on, it's clamped on by the wheel which goes over the top of it. Brilliant, lovely, and the hub with the wheel bearings is a separate part. No, with Rolls-Royce and Bentley, this is a whole separate unit. This is 22 kilos, or thick end of 50 pounds in weight, and it's actually handed because the threads on all Rolls-Royce and Bentley cars, at least up until, I can't speak for the Continental GT because that's a bit too recent for us, but on the right hand side they are right-handed threads, and on the left-hand side of the car they are left-handed threads to make sure that the fasteners self-tighten. So anyway, the problem is the brake disc is actually integral with the hub, so it is a full strip down. The original problem with this one was that the wheel bearings had developed just the slightest amount of play, and even the likes of 10,000th of an inch at the wheel rim is too much on these. It really is, and they take an absolute beating, because this is a 2.5 ton car that can do 170 miles an hour and pull pretty high cornering force Gs for so big a car. With the net result, the wheel bearings take a battering actually, and the rear brake discs on them rust very badly because they're exposed to the atmosphere. A lot of these cars are underdriven, so the brakes don't actually get a decent workout, get the rust scrubbed off them, and sort of carry on their service life in that way. It's actually, because of the design of it, very complicated, and you've got to take the whole hub assembly off and strip it, either to get hold of the wheel, to get at the wheel bearings, or the brake disc. And you've been grappling with this, haven't you?
Just a little bit, yes, yeah.
You've got the one hub off this side now.
Yep.
But of course this is like crew cars since 1987. ABS has been standard fitment, and this is a Bosch sensor. And what you've had to do is actually go up the suspension arm and inside the car to disconnect the sensor lead, basically. But just explain what's involved in all that.
Well, I mean, with the ABS specifically, the reason I've had to do that is because the Allen key bolt that holds it in must have corroded gently over the past 30 years, and I couldn't get it undone. So I thought, well, the best course of action is to unplug the ABS sensor rather than hacking away at that, get it off the car,
yes,
where I can actually work on it on a bench. So yeah, these plug in underneath the rear seat squabs,
yep,
which aren't too bad to get out. It wasn't the only issue. The brake caliper is off this now, but most of the fittings on the back of that caliper look like they've been off before. The union's where the lines go in, and they'd been chewed or they'd reduced in size, and again, I just could not get them off, and the access is quite limited.
So that's what I was looking at before. You see, that line's always been there. I've been thinking that it's there. I thought this was a spacer.
Yeah,
I actually think it's part of the. It's metal anyway, definitely metallic.
Yes.
So I think it's part of that. Or it is a spacer, but the two have kind of become one.
It might be worthwhile.
Well, I've had to cut as close to the union as I can to remove it, and then I'll reflare the pipe. If I can't do that, I'll just remake new ones out of cunifer. If it was all brand new, it would actually fall off very nicely, but because everything's chewed or seized or aged, it's been quite a laborious process, which isn't done yet. This is really refusing to come out, and they're quite tricky to get hold of, so I'm trying to get it out without causing any damage to the sensor, but it's proving seized.
Yeah. And these are made of unobtainium now, aren't they, the brake sensors?
Well, we've had a look to see if we can find them, and we're struggling,
Right.
But certainly the Bosch part we can't find just now. So.
And all this because the rear wheel bearings have got slightly too much play in them. I remember I had a Turbo R in the early 90s. I think it done 10,000 miles, and already the wheel bearings were starting to just get on the edge of what was acceptable play-wise.
Even then?
Yes, even then. Now that is very unusual. I've seen them go on for many miles, and it is directly proportional to how the car is driven.
Sure.
If you start doing donuts in it and going on slalom courses, pulling as close as you can to 1G per corner, inevitably the wheel bearings take a battering. But this is quite the job. Unfortunately, there's a company, Flying Spares, who specialise in Rolls-Royce and Bentley parts. I've known Flying Spares since Ben set it up, whenever it was, 30 odd years ago. And they actually recondition the hub, which is very efficient for us, because for us to start doing that is wasted money. We might as well just give them the whole thing. You can't even rotate the ABS sensor to actually start to free it, because there is such a snug fit in the housing.
They must be. I mean, I've drilled out the stud that was still remaining. I've drilled it centrally, and I've got it to go below the level of where the sensor sits on the hub, and I still can't get it to move. So I'm assuming somewhere within that body where the sensor is, it must be seized into the hub.
And you drill this way, so the bit is going that way, isn't it?
Towards you, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm trying not to put too much pressure on it. I've only gone up 1 mil. I've gone from a 2 to a 3. I do wonder, Tom, whether we're best going back to a 2 and just sending that pilot all the way down. Well, all the way, I say, beyond that step.
Yeah, well, that is as central as you're going to get it.
It's not bad, that, eh?
No.
What do you reckon? Go back down a step and...
possibly, as long as it's a sharp one.
Sounds like it's doing something.
It's definitely lifting there.
All right.
Are they in a plastic sleeve? Like
Well,
some are or not?
some of them are, and some of them are actually aluminium, the actual casing.
Oh dear, okay.
And what happens is you get electrolytic reaction between the aluminium and the steel.
Yeah.
And what manufacturers have done in later cars to avoid this, very considerate of them, normally they don't do such things, is to actually decrease the diameter of the sensor so it doesn't touch the sides of the housing, which is steel, up for strength, of course, as this is. But this is the sort of thing, how do we grapple with this, with charging the hours that it takes to sort it out? This is the standard mechanics versus customers conundrum that's been going on since the motor car was invented over 100 years ago. So anyway, you're well on with it. We've got this little beauty ready to go on with a Rolls-Royce part number there. UR, that is how the Rolls-Royce part numbers start. So yeah, quite the job this.
Yeah, very much so.
But you can take solace from the fact that every problem you've encountered is not unusual.
No, it seems standard course, doesn't it, really, for something
The
of an
brake
age?
pipes.
Yeah.
This is pretty par for the course. But Corey, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck. This is only the first side.
I know.
We've got the other one to do yet. Thanks very much.
Smashing, thank you.
Well, we moved to the Jaguar XK140, which started off as a service and getting ready for the customer to use, but unfortunately things have taken a turn for the worse because we discovered a knock at the top end. One thing led to another. We took the cylinder head off. There were 2 nasty cracks in the mating face on the cylinder head, and we'd sent it off to a very, very reputable company called Crosthwaite and Gardner for them to test it to see whether it was fit for purpose, because this car's going to be used for rallies and things, I think, when it's finished, time trials, not hitting the red line, just gentle driving through thousands of miles of countryside. But nevertheless, we wanted it right. And the head got condemned by Crosthwaite and Gardner. They do beautiful work, and this is an example. So we've had this head off them. It's a modified head. The number of different cylinder heads on Jaguar XK engines is a lot. Different designs, different porting arrangements. This is actually a better cylinder head than the one that would have been on the car. This is a gas-flowed head. This is up about 20% on power as a result, even with the standard twin SU carburetors. Young James has been lapping in the valves on this, and we're going to be building this up shortly. But what a thing of beauty. Almost too nice to put on a car, really. Well, Corey, you're attacking a Lamborghini Countach QV engine. Mm-hmm. The most powerful of the Countach iterations. And this is actually a US spec car. This is a car that's come from the States. Yep. So it's got the fuel injection on it, the twin Cagetronic systems, as opposed to the 6-down draft carburetors. Yes. Just a bit of history on this V12 engine in this generation. Giulio Alfieri, the extremely clever engineer who was the head of engineering at Maserati during the 1970s, and he actually came up with the Citroën SM engine by sort of chopping and changing a Maserati V8, and not the most beautiful engine in the world, but it was very functional. But on this, he really sort of knocked it out of the park, to use a current idiom. We've got a longer stroke to take it up to 5.2 litre, haven't we? Yep. The liners are very, very thin, and then we've got this sandwich plate. So do you want to talk about this, or shall I?
I'll let you do the honours. I feel like this is your domain.
Well, you're being very modest. Okay, we've got this is an aluminium sandwich plate, which is designed to match the liners protrude quite considerably from the cylinder block. And on this side, this is the genius of this. We have a tiny rubber O-ring that fits in a groove there, and then another tiny rubber O-ring that fits in the end there, and then this clamps on, doesn't it? Basically.
It does.
And then a conventional head gasket on top.
Yep, conventional head gaskets on
top. And it works. It works. These tiny O-rings seal the cooling faces on the cylinder block, and the head gasket does the rest once this is in place. Have you enjoyed doing this job? All 48 valves?
Yeah, I mean the heads took some time to get through all the valves. They're all done now. But yeah, I love doing the engine work. It's well on the way now. Once we get the big end shells, once they come in, I can build the whole thing up. As I say, the crank's all in. That's all ready to go. So once those shells are in for the big ends, I can really get flying with it.
Good.
And get it in the car.
And this is the transmission here, or the sump effectively on the engine. That cylinder block sits on here, and then this is your baffling for the engine oil, which is dry sumped. So that goes away to a tank in the engine. You've got it's a complicated system because the clutch, etc., is on this end, and then the differential goes to the rear wheels on this end, and we are pretty sure that's okay internally, but we are going to check it over, aren't we?
We are. I mean, the service records of the car tend to suggest a lot of this work has been looked at in the past. You know, they've gone through the gearbox, they've gone through the differential when the car was over in the States, but I think just to be sure, we'll get things checked over again.
Sure.
And then we know, don't we?
Yes.
Where we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We've got another one here, which Marcus is just building up, and the engine oil actually mixed with the transmission oil, and that was because there are 4 O-rings in this tube here. Actually, one was leaking, and it was causing 2 of the oils to mix. which then caused an oil leak in this area, the bell housing area, where the front of the engine sits on top of that area there, and that is quite critical. There are 4 oil seals in there, all just dying to leak.
Yes. Yeah, well, this one was dry, thankfully, and someone's obviously already been in there because the signs of, they've marked it off with a pen, the silicone seal in there, so being as it's dry, I don't think we need to go in there and start disturbing the work that's already been done. But if I'd not seen evidence of that, we'd be taking that out for sure. Same as Marcus. So
yes, yeah. So the race is on now. Which one of you is going to get the engine back in the car?
Yeah, I think it might be Marcus first. I think he's a little way ahead of me, but
well, you know, there's always some overtime to be had.
I was going to say a couple of weekends, I'll win.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Corey.
Thank you. Cheers, Ian.
This Lamborghini Islero restoration is almost finished, he says optimistically. And Alex, you've been making up, you've been fettling and furkling, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much, setting the grill. Yeah.
So, yeah, tell us what you've been doing.
Well, obviously the grill on this, obviously it's more of a mesh front on it, so obviously just cut the mesh out, looked at the original, obviously I haven't gone off the original pattern because obviously it just fitted to the car, but the new one just make it fit.
Yeah.
And obviously this is the original piece off the grill. So obviously that's what's securing this. I've put a piece at the top there just to strengthen it and obviously tidy the edge.
Right.
Because obviously when you're cutting mesh, it leaves jagged edges everywhere. So it's just
of course, yes.
more of a protection there. Obviously made up all the bumper brackets as well. So obviously I had to fit these round the grille as well. So yeah, it's about as easy as it gets really.
And this is all, most of this is hand fabrication, isn't it?
Yeah, all of this, everything bar that I've had to make.
Right. And it's looking fabulous.
Yeah,
I think this is black, isn't it, from memory?
I think originally, it would have been black.
Is this stainless steel or mild?
No, just mild steel. That.
Right, so we can prime and paint that.
That's it. It was the closest we could find to the original shape without it looking too industrial sort of thing.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. No, that is fabulous. I mean, a lot of cars like this are hand worked, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. That's what you got to think about when you're making this stuff. At the end of the day, somebody's made it before. Obviously, there's nothing stopping you making it again.
Yes, so. Exactly.
They might have been a bit more advanced than me, but...
Well, I think you're pretty advanced, Alex. No. It's beautiful work. Yeah, well done. Well, you've also had to make these little bad boys here, haven't you? This is the headlamp, the pop-up headlight escutcheons, would you call them?
Yeah.
And you made those from scratch, which also look superb. So
that's it.
And these are going to go body colour, are they, eventually, I think?
I'm assuming they are, yeah.
I think they do on the Islero without looking it up.
No, that's it.
And
obviously put nicer bolts in there. They're just holding it on temporary at the moment.
Yeah. And it was quite the job to get the pop-up headlight mechanism working on this, I seem to remember.
Pete had a battle, and obviously I had to make a link rod, obviously to the 2 headlamp pods as well. We had to make that up as well.
Right. All hand fettled, hand fabricated, hand done. Beautiful work,
going on
Alex. Beautiful work.
Yeah, cheers.
Well, Craig is becoming such a phenomenon. We went to the NEC Classic Car Show last November, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we had a Craig's Corner on our stand there, along with a Lamborghini Miura we've rebuilt the engine on, and a Ferrari F40 that we've restored. And we had Craig's Corner, and people were, you were inundated, weren't you?
Yeah, it was good,
This came from that show,
Yes, yeah. I spoke to the guy who was inquiring about what we could do with sort of fixing the guts of the seat, really.
Absolutely.
It was completely shot, the Pirelli webbing.
It's an Aston Martin DB6Mk2. They only made 100 odd of them in total. And the seats on them are different to the older DB6 and the DBS, which came afterwards, which is wider. So the DBS has got a wider version of the seat in it.
Oh, okay. No, and he wanted to know what we could do with it. He said it's just lost all its stuffing.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
And as you can see, the webbing is just, that was the original.
That's supposed to be elastic.
Yes, exactly. So
this is new stuff.
But until you take it apart, you don't really know which parts have gone, really. I assumed it would have been that.
This is the seat frame, which is literally made up of bits of tacked round section metal tubing, as one would expect, really. That's your full body weight resting on that almost.
And the cover is glued into the foam. So I knew that I would have to sort of disconnect the foam from the webbing and then try and get that out. If I did it the other way round and sort of took the cover off the foam, it would be, you know, the foam would start to...
Disintegrate.
Yes, yeah, because it was so heavily glued on, really.
But this had all but collapsed, hadn't it? I mean,
Yes.
these were...
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty,
That's-
we couldn't take a photograph of it before, but the problem is you're actually working and moving things along. And
Yeah, yeah.
I look at something and then 2 hours later, it's different.
It's gone, yeah.
This is called what? Pirelli webbing?
Yes, yeah, and it's, yeah, you would imagine it to be, you know, very tough. It's tough when you sort of get in the tension.
Yes.
So you put it in one end
Right.
and then you pull.
So this
pulling
is
it down these
preloaded.
clips, yeah. So and then
Right.
you sort of keep going to a state where it's, you know, it's not going to throw you across the room.
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
when
exactly.
You sit upon
And
it.
this is, I mean, on certain cars, this is critical because cars with limited headroom,
Yes.
Murers. I remember we had a Murer in years ago, and a certain company had trimmed it, who we shall not mention, not in the UK. I shall say no more. And you actually couldn't get in it because they'd padded the seat up so much. There was about that much padding in it, in a
Sort of.
car with already tiny headroom. So this is critical, actually, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's millimeters from touching
Yes.
touching the roof to being comfy. Really.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. And this is, I mean, this is the original leather, is it, from
Yes, that is, yeah,
1969?
that's great.
Look at that. This is Connolly Vomol volume. This just can't beat it.
Oh, wow.
In fact, this is Luxan, I think, with the hand washed in terse in the leather. But that is just, they've been Connollised. The colour's slightly different.
Yes, it looks like that.
They've been sprayed, but
Yeah.
Nevertheless, that's remarkable
It's nice,
for the
isn't it?
age.
Yeah.
What's this, by the way?
So that fits underneath that.
Oh.
So when we were having a look, we didn't know how, but so we had to take it apart anyway to know just how bad it was. Because if that wasn't on it, I could have I would have known that the webbing had gone, but I had to take the whole thing apart
I
to
see.
know. Really, yeah. So that was underneath there, hiding.
Hiding everything.
Yeah.
Okay. God, really? I'd never have thought somebody would do that. And okay, is it time to
Produce
is it time to reveal the what was it you called it earlier on?
the jump scare.
The jump scare. This is a new expression to me. I'm down with the kids here. This is a high quality, state of the art, utterly beautiful Lamborghini Islero dashboard, isn't it?
Yeah.
And for the benefit of the uninitiated, this is before Craig trims it. That's right, isn't it?
It's complete.
Yeah. No, I mean, joking apart, I
Yeah.
mean that is pretty minging, really.
When we took it apart, it was trimmed, but someone had sort of had a go at fiberglass in the centre console to this because this bit's supposed to be separate, and also it had a cover on it, and someone had sort of tried to hand sew it back together, but I think they'd fiberglassed it while it was still trimmed, if you see what I mean. So there was fiberglass underneath the cover,
Right.
and it was just insane. So
Okay. This car has got is a unique car. It's got some unique features on it. This is a historically famous Lamborghini that we're doing. I wonder if this has been done from new, you know.
maybe, and also they've cut this. I don't know. Something's happened there where they've had to get in there to cut that piece out
Now,
because it's got an insert there, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Before we go too mad about saying negative things about
Yeah.
this is what a lot of car dashboards were like in the 50s, 60s
yeah.
and
Yes,
even
yeah.
70s from the likes of Lamborghini or Ferrari for that matter. You know, we don't want to be too self-righteous and say,
No, but this is...
this is particularly awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, this is they all started life
Oh, yeah.
in varying ways, but it probably wouldn't. This bit probably wouldn't be too different.
No.
It's just this.
Yeah, underneath they all...
Yeah.
To be honest, they all look similar,
Exactly,
really. They all
exactly.
wobble. Yeah. It's all right.
Okay, so well, thank you for your wobbly trim moments,
Yeah,
Greg.
it's all
All
right.
right, onward and upward, eh?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Cheers. Well, thanks for watching. Please do remember to subscribe, it is very important, and like, and we'll be back with something else very soon.